In the opulent orbit of Rolex fandom, where submariners command five-figure fortunes and date-justs dazzle at dealer desks, 2025's watch world harbors a delicious rebellion. Homages and hidden gems that echo the Crown's timeless toolkit dive bezels, luminous dials, and integrated poise for a fraction of the fantasy. Our Rolex fans are losing it over these $10 $300 watches, unleashes a lineup of under $300, most under $200 stunners that punch like Prospex while pocketing savings, vetted by watch charts and Chrono24 data showing 10 to 25% resale flips amid a 18% surge in affordable divers. From Pagani's Submariner Silhouette to Seiko's 62 Mayes Revival, these aren't mere mimics. They're mechanical manifestos of value, blending Japanese Swiss grit with Rolex reverence, outshining quartz clones in sweep second soul. Skip the overhyped Invicta gimmicks, flashy but fleeting, or Casio's digital detours, tough but no sweep. Strap in for these fan-favorite frauds, where every tick taunts the Oyster Perpetual's throne. Because in 2025's value vortex, Rolex envy ignites in every accessible axis. Let's crown the contenders, one budget bezel at a time. Number 10. Pagani Design PD1641, Submariner Homage. The Pagani Design PD1641 erupts in 2025 as the Submariner's shadowy doppelganger. Its 40mm stainless steel case, 13mm thick with coin-edge bezel housing, a black dial with luminous Mercedes hands that ghosts Rolex's no-date poise, retailing at $80 via AliExpress for a homage hurricane that eclipses Steinhardt's Ocean One in thrift torpedoes. Per WatchUseek forums hailing its $40 flips, 50% CAGR for the Seiko NH35A sweep that outticks quartz pretenders. Powered by the 24-jewel NH35A automatic 21,600 VPH with hacking seconds and 41-hour reserve it delivers plus at 20 seconds daily via Diashock buffers, unidirectional 120-click ceramic bezel rotating for elapsed epochs under sapphire crystal. Date magnifier at 3 o'clock parsing calendars with Cyclops clarity at 200 meters water resistance via screw-down crown and helium valve for saturation stings. The stainless bracelet oyster-style links at 20mm lugs clasps 7-inch wrists at 150 grams with deployant security. Its solid end links channeling crown contours for seamless flow, quick release for NATO swaps that nod tactical twists. Debuted in 2020 as Pagani's Homage Odyssey, this PD1641 nods 1953 Subgenesis with flame fusion crystal and wave-engraved Riyadh. Reddit R Chinese watches raving its Daytona Dupe Deluxe that shrugs reef rips without Rolex regret. Upgraded from 30 Mainers to 100mm bore in mid-cycle for true tool watch tenure. At $80, it underbids Certina DS PH200 in Lume, Super Luminova plots glowing blue, aligning with 2025's Homage Heat via fade-proof ceramic. The bezel's aluminum insert gleams eternally, the movement's bidirectional rotor winding wrist waves into 42-hour autonomy, a benthic bargain where every sweep scripts submergence. Forums frenzy over its sub-slayer orbit, where indices pulse like pulsar precision, the hand's alpha accents tracing temporal tapestries in twilight. The dial's metallic mesh shifts from matte to mirror under LEDs, the case's chamfered edges catching candle flicker like comet trails, a Submariner silhouette that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's Homage Havoc, the PD1641 plunges provocatively, a steel sovereign blending Rolex reverence with hydraulic harmony, arming aquanauts with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as boundlessly as they endure, proving luxury lurks in Legacy's leanest leagues. Number 9. Invicta Pro Diver 8926OB. The Invicta Pro Diver 8926OB submerges 2025's Homage depths as a Submariner's budget bastard. Its 40mm stainless steel case, 12mm thick with scalloped bezel housing. A black dial with luminous indices that mirrors Rolex's aquatic austerity. Retailing at $100 via Invicta's site for a thrift torpedo that outmaneuvers Steinhardt in bezel bravado. Per Two Broke Watch Snobs review praising its $120 flips. 20% CAGR for the NH35A sweep that trumps quartz in tool watch torque. Powered by the 24-jewel Seiko NH35A automatic 21,600 VPH with hacking seconds and 41-hour reserve it clocks, plus 20 seconds daily via Diashock dampeners. Unidirectional 120-click aluminum bezel rotating for dive drama under mineral crystal. Date at 3 o'clock, magnified for calendar clarity at 200 meters water resistance via screw-down crown and triplock seals for saturation supremacy. The Oyster-style bracelet solid links at 20mm lugs clasps, 7-inch wrists at 160 grams with deployant clasp. Its brushed flanks and polished centers evoking crown contours for seamless submergence, quick release for rubber reinvention. Launched in 2018 as Invicta's Homage Air, this 8926OB nods 1953's Subsaga with flame fusion crystal and Invicta side engravings that patina like battle scars. Watch Crunch lauding its Subdupe Deluxe that shrugs 10-year abuse without falter-upgraded scalloped bezel for grippier grips in 2025 variants. At $100, it underbids Citizen Promasters in Lume, plots glowing green for abyssal alerts, aligning with 2025's Dive Deluge via flame-retardant gaskets. The bezel's toothed edge grips like glacial gear, the movement's bidirectional rotor winding wrist waves, a benthic ballad where every sweep scripts saga. Forums fortify its Pro Diver prowess, where Mercedes hands trace temporal trails in twilight, the dial's radial rays blooming from coal to silver under sunlight. The case's machined flanks shift from silver to slate under shadows, the exhibition caseback unveiling the rotor's rhythm like a porthole portal, a submariner silhouette that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's Oceanic Odyssey, the 8926OB dives dominantly, a steel sentinel fusing homage heft with hydraulic harmony, arming adventurers with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as robustly as they replicate, proving luxury lords in Legacy's leanest leagues. Number 8. Casio Duro MDV-106. The Casio Duro MDV-106 anchors 2025's dive dynasty as the Marlin Monarch of Thrift. Its 40mm stainless steel case, 12mm thick with cushion profile housing a black sunray dial with luminous plots that evokes Rolex's Oyster Perpetual Sub-Stealth, retailing at $50 via Casio's site for a value vortex that eclipses Timex's Expedition and ISO Fortitude. Per dive-in review hailing its $60 flips, 20% CAGR for the 2784 quartz that outticks automatics in set-it-forget-it reliability. Powered by the Module 2784 quartz ticking plus 20 seconds monthly with day date at 3 o'clock. It delivers pinpoint precision under mineral crystal, unidirectional 120-click bezel with aluminum insert, rotating for elapsed epochs at 200 meters. Water resistance via screw-down crowning gaskets for professional plunges. The polyurethane strap vented at 22mm lugs. Grips 7.5-inch wrists at 120 grams with tang buckle. Its no decompression scales nodding dive lore, quick release for bracelet upgrades like the 2025 Marlin Steel variant. Debuted in 1996 as Casio's aquatic anthem, this MDV-106 nods 1965's 62 AS grit, with sunray textures shifting from charcoal to cosmic black under halogens. Brooks Review raving its cult classic that shrugs 10-year abuse lightweight at 12mm high for all-day wear without wrist fatigue. At $50, it underbids Seiko SKX Ghosts in Lume, plots glowing blue for void vigils, aligning with 2025's Sustainable Surge via recyclable resin. The bezel's coin edge grips like glacial gear, the module's thermocompensation conquering climatic curses, a benthic bargain where every tick traces tides. Forums frenzy over its Duro durability, where indices pulse like pulsar precision, the hand's alpha accents tracing temporal tapestries in twilight. The dial's metallic mesh shifts from matte to mirror under LEDs, the case's brushed flanks catching candle flicker like comet trails, a submariner silhouette that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's Dive Deluge, the MDV-106 mantles mastery, a steel sovereign fusing marlin metal with hydraulic harmony, arming aquanauts with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as boundlessly as they endure, proving luxury lurks in Legacy's leanest leagues. Number 7. Citizen Promaster Dive BN015028E. The Citizen Promaster Dive BN015028E surfaces in 2025 as the Eco-Drive Emperor of Endurance, its 44mm stainless steel case 11. 7mm slim with screwback housing a black dial with luminous indices that channels Rolex's Submariner simplicity, retailing at $250 via Citizen's site for a solar sentinel that outshines Seiko's SKX in set-it-forget-it autonomy, per Watch Crunch review praising its $280 flips, 12% CAGR, for the E168 Eco-Drive that trounces batteries in light-liberated longevity. Powered by the caliber E168 Eco-Drive quartz heart with solar cell yielding 6-month reserve from any gleam it ticks plus your 15 seconds monthly via light charging dial, Date at 3 o'clock under mineral crystal, unidirectional 120-click bezel with aluminum insert rotating for dive drama at 200 MER ISO compliance via screw-down crown for saturation stings. The polyurethane strap vented at 22mm lugs grips 7.5-inch wrists at 130 grams with tang buckle. Its no decompression scales evoking pro protocols, quick release for bracelet swaps in 2025 variants. Launched in 2016 as Citizen's Promaster Pinnacle, this BNSC 150 nods 1985's Dive Dawn with radial textures blooming from slate to silver under sunlight. Tech writer EDC lauding its gateway drug that shrugs reef rips rugged bezel action crisp as crown commands. At $250, it underbids Orient Ray in Lume, plots glowing green for abyssal alerts, aligning with 2025's sustainable shine via recyclable straps. The bezel's toothed edge grips like glacial gear, the module's low-light charging conquering cloudy curses, a benthic ballad where every tick traces tides. Forums fortify its Promaster prowess, where hands trace temporal trails in twilight, the dial's crisp contrast charting chronal conquests in crepuscular clarity. The case's machined flanks shift from silver to slate under shadows, the solid caseback etching serial subtlety like a secret society scroll, a submariner silhouette that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's Oceanic Odyssey, the BNDRO 150 dives dominantly, a steel sovereign fusing solar sovereignty with hydraulic harmony, arming adventurers with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as robustly as they replicate, proving luxury lords in legacy's leanest leagues. Number 6. Seiko 5 Sports SRPD Fight 5. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD Fight 5 surges in 2025 as the SKX heir apparent, its 42.5mm stainless steel case, 13. Dixmury thick with cushion profile housing a black sunburst dial with Lumibrite plots that ghosts Rolex's Submariner Stealth, retailing at $225 via Seiko's site for a value vortex that eclipses Casio Duro in automatic allure. Per Hodinkee review hailing its $250 flips, 10% key AGR for the 4R36 sweep that outticks quartz in enthusiast ethos. Powered by the 24-jewel 4R36 automatic Xenix 20 Ws 600 VPH with hacking seconds and 41-hour reserve, it delivers plus 15 seconds daily via Diashock dampeners. Unidirectional 120-click bezel with aluminum insert rotating for elapsed epochs under Hardlex crystal. Day date at 3 o'clock magnified for calendar clarity at 100 meters water resistance via screw-down crown for recreational reefs. The 3-link bracelet 20mm lugs clasps 7-inch wrists at 150 grams with trifold clasp. Its brushed flanks evoking crown contours for seamless flow, quick release for NATO swaps that nod tactical twists. Debuted in 2020 as Seiko's 5KX Saga, this SRPD 5 nods 1980s SKX grit with radial textures shifting from coal to cosmic black under halogens. Watch Crunch raving its masterpiece that shrugs Desk Dive's upgraded loom for 2025 variants glowing blue-green. At $225, it underbids Citizen Promaster's in-day complication, bilingual window, aligning with 2025's Dive Deluge via flame-retardant gaskets. The bezel's coin edge grips like glacial gear, the movement's bidirectional rotor winding wrist waves, a benthic bargain where every sweep scripts submergence. Forums frenzy over its 5KX killer orbit, where indices pulse like pulsar precision, the hand's sword accents tracing temporal tapestries in twilight. The dial's metallic mesh shifts from matte to mirror under LEDs, the case's chamfered edges catching candle flicker like comet trails, a submariner silhouette that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's Homage Havoc, the SRPD 55 plunges provocatively, a steel sovereign blending SKX soul with hydraulic harmony, arming aquanauts with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as boundlessly as they endure, proving luxury lurks in legacy's leanest leagues. Number 5. Tissot PRX Quartz. The Tissot PRX Quartz pulses 2025's integrated icon as an Audemars Royal Oak Riff refined. Its 40mm stainless steel case, 10.4 meters slim, with faceted sides housing an ice blue sunray dial with baton markers that gleams like AP's 15400, retailing at $375 via Tissot's site with 20% resale surges to $413 for its FO6. 115 Swiss quartz that outticks MVMT in ETA-esque accuracy, per Fratello review ranking it top 19% in popularity. This 70s revival deploys the 3-jewel FO6. 115 caliber ticking plus at 10 seconds monthly, for time and date purity under sapphire crystal with AR coating, fixed bezel flowing seamlessly into the 5-link bracelet that clasps 7-inch wrists at 140 grams with butterfly deployant. Date at 3 o'clock, magnified subtly for calendar clarity at 100 meters water resistance via screw-down crown for shower shakedowns. The bracelet's brushed, polished links channel luxury lug-to-lug, quick-release pins inviting rubber for sporty swaps, while the caseback's solid shield etches Tissot's heritage like a hidden hallmark. Relaunched in 2021 as Swatch Group's Value Vanguard, this PRX nods 1973's original, with radial textures blooming from azure to Arctic under halogens. Fifth wrist lauding its Quartz King that shrugs 45800 AM magnetism Sans Shield 2025 variants with EOL indicator for battery bliss. At $375, it underbids Oris Aquis in integrated allure, aligning with 2025's Quartz Quietude via recyclable packaging. The indice's faceted gleam pierces peripheral poise, the module's thermo-compensation conquering climatic clinks, a sporty sonnet where every facet foretells finesse. Forums frenzy over its oak-on-a-budget orbit, where hands trace temporal trails in twilight, the dial's crisp contrast charting chronal conquests in crepuscular clarity. The case's chamfered edges catch candle flicker like comet trails, the display's metallic mesh shifting from matte to mirror under LEDs, a royal oak riff that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's integrated influx, the PRX Quartz quests quirkily, a steel sentinel fusing 70s heresy with Swiss subtlety, arming trendsetters with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as dynamically as they drape, proving luxury lathers in legacy's luminous lines. Number 4. Timex Q Timex Revival. The Timex Q Timex Revival resurrects 2025's Quartz Renaissance as a 70s time capsule turned trendsetter. Its 38mm stainless steel case, 12.1mm slim, with hooded lugs housing a cream sunray dial with Q logo at 12 o'clock that channels vintage Bulova Computron Cool, surging at $179 via Timex. Calm with 18% resale pops to $210 for its Miyota quartz that eclipses Casio's W800H in archival allure, per Watchfinder review hailing its industry darling status. This faithful reissue deploys the Miyota 1L45 quartz ticking plus 20 seconds daily for time-only purity under domed acrylic crystal that arches like Accutron astronauts, fixed bezel with brushed polished mix framing faceted indices, and Dauphine hands that glow green for dusk drifts. Date window at 3 o'clock, parsing calendars, sans magnifier for clean symmetry on 6.75-inch wrists at 100 grams. Revived from Timex's 1977 quartz pivot, heralding the Q era that toppled mechanical monarchs. This 2025 edition nods Fortnite collabs with vibrant greens and blues, its nylon or leather strap, 20mm lugs, quick swapping for summer sips or urban jaunts, Indiglow igniting the dial in ethereal blue for midnight meanders at 50 meters water resistance via snapback case. The case's chamfered edges catch candle flicker like comet trails, the module's thermo-compensation conquering climatic curses, a golden age glyph where every tick toasts transition from sweep to step. Forums buzz its Quartz King poise that undercuts Seiko's 5SNK in battery bliss, 2-year CR 2016 life, aligning with 2025's retro revival via sustainable packaging worn and wound, praising its neo-vintage goodness with period-correct details. The sunray's radial rays bloom from pearl to plasma under halogens, the display's crisp contrast charting chronal conquests in crepuscular clarity, a hooded homage blending 70s heresy with horological harmony. In 2025's revival rush, the Q Timex quests quirkily, arming aficionados with wrist-worn whimsy that appreciates as effervescently as it endures, proving luxury lathers in quartz's quiet conquest. Number 3. Seiko Presage Cocktail Time, SAR PB43. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time SAR PB43 enchants 2025's evening elixir as a dial distillery of sunset sorcery. Its 40.5mm stainless steel case 11. 8mm slim with exhibition back housing a silvery blue sunburst dial that shimmers like a Manhattan moonrise, retailing at $425 via Seiko's site with 15% resale pops to $490 for its 4R35 automatic that outsweeps Orient in 7-layer gloss, per a Blog to Watch review hailing its classy-looking character. Powered by the 23-jewel 4R35 caliber 21,600 VPH with hacking seconds, and 41-hour reserve it delivers plus 455's 35 seconds daily via Diashock dampeners, date at 3 o'clock under box-shaped Hardlex crystal that domes like a cocktail coupe. Dauphine hands and applied indices gliding over pressed patterns evoking foam fizz at 50 meters water resistance via screw-down crown for spirited splashes. The black calf leather strap supple at 20mm lugs caresses 7-inch wrists at 130 grams with deployant clasp, its quick release inviting mesh for metallic mixology, while the case back unveils the rotor's etched Presage poetry like a bartender's journal. Debuted in 2018 as Seiko's Starbar Saga, this skydiving stunner nods 1960s bartender lore with textures that shift from azure to Arctic under candlelight. Hodinkee toasting its intoxicatingly excellent successor to the SARB 065 Cult Classic 2025 variants with upgraded lume for subtle twilight toasts. At $425, it underbids Citizen St. James in dial depth, 7-layer gloss blooming libations, aligning with 2025's leather luxury via eco-tannage. The dial's radial gloss blooms libations in metallic murmur, the movement's sprawn hairspring conquering climatic curses, a potable paradigm where every sweep scripts serenity. Forum's frenzy over its cocktail cult orbit, where indices pulse like pulsar precision, the hand's Dauphine accents tracing temporal tapestries in twilight. The case's chamfered edges catch candle flicker like comet trails, the display's metallic mesh shifting from matte to mirror under LEDs, a dress watch deity that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's cocktail circuit, the SRPB 43 mixes masterfully, a leather-laced libation fusing bartender balladry with automatic artistry, empowering Epicureans with wrist-worn whimsy that appreciates as fizzingly as it endures, proving luxury lives in Legacy's longest pour. Number 2. Orient Kamasu Diver. The Orient Kamasu Diver sails 2025's seas as a submariner's scholarly shadow. It's 41. 5mm stainless steel case, 13 meters thick with cushion profile housing, a black sunray dial with lumi-bright plots that evokes Rolex's Oyster Perpetual Poise, retailing at $240 via Orient's site for a value voyage that eclipses Casio Duro in automatic allure. Per 2 Broke Watch snobs review praising its $280 flips, 15% CAGR for the F69122 sweep that outticks Quartz in enthusiast ethos. Powered by the 22-joule F6922 automatic, rate 21,600 VPH with hacking seconds, and 40-hour reserve it delivers plus C15 seconds daily via Diashock dampeners, unidirectional 120-click bezel with aluminum insert rotating for elapsed epochs under sapphire crystal. Day date at 3 o'clock magnified for calendar clarity at 200 meters water resistance via screw-down crown for recreational reefs. The 3-link bracelet 22-meter lugs clasps 7-inch wrists at 160 grams with tri-fold clasp, its brushed flanks evoking crown contours for seamless flow, quick release for NATO swaps that nod tactical twists. Debuted in 2020 as Orient's Kamasu Quest, this RAAA001B nods 1960s dive dawn with radial textures shifting from coal to cosmic black under halogens. Watch Crunch raving its SKX killer that shrugs Desk Dive's upgraded sapphire for 2025 variants glowing blue-green. At $250, it underbids Citizen Promaster's in day complication, bilingual window, aligning with 2025's dive deluge via flame-retardant gaskets. The bezel's coin edge grips like glacial gear, the movement's bidirectional rotor winding wrist waves, a benthic bargain where every sweep scripts submergence. Forum's frenzy over its best under 300 orbit, where indices pulse like pulsar precision, the hand's sword accents tracing temporal tapestries in twilight. The dial's metallic mesh shifts from matte to mirror under LEDs, the case's chamfered edges catching candle flicker like comet trails, a submariner silhouette that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's Homage Havoc, the Kamasu quests quirkily, a steel sentinel fusing dive dynasty with hydraulic harmony, arming aquanauts with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as boundlessly as they endure, proving luxury lurks in Legacy's leanest leagues. Number 1. Seiko Prospex SPB 143. The Seiko Prospex SPB 143 crowns 2025's dive pantheon as the 62 May's modern muse, its 40mm stainless steel case, 13 meters thick with cushion profile housing a gray sunburst dial with lumibrite plots that ghosts Rolex's submariner subtlety, retailing at $1,200 via Seiko's site, yet flipping at $1. 415% CAGR for its 6R35 automatic that outticks Omega Seamaster in heritage heft, per Teddy Baldessari review, hailing its instant classic status. Powered by the 24-joule 6R35 caliber 21,600 VPH with hacking seconds and 70-hour reserve it sweeps plus tiers 10 seconds daily via Diashock dampeners, unidirectional 1-20-click bezel with aluminum insert rotating for elapsed epochs under sapphire crystal with AR coating. Date at 3 o'clock unadorned for purest poise at 200 meters ISO compliance via screw-down crown for professional plunges. The 3-link bracelet 20mm lugs clasps, 7-inch wrists at 150 grams with trifold clasp, its brushed flanks and polished centers evoking crown contours for seamless submergence, quick release for rubber reinvention. Relaunched in 2020 as Seiko's 55th anniversary anthem, this SPB 143 nods 1965's 62 mesh genesis with radial textures blooming from slate to silver under sunlight. Hodinkee lauding its refined tool that shrugs Reef Rip's 2025 variants with upgraded lume glowing ice blue. At $1,200, it underbids Tudor Pelagos and Vintage Vibe, aligning with 2025's Dive Deluge via Metas-like mastery. The bezel's coin-edge grips like glacial gear, the movement's bidirectional rotor winding wrist waves, a benthic ballad where every sweep scripts saga. Forums fortify its 62 May's Revival orbit, where indices pulse like pulsar precision, the hand's broad arrows tracing temporal tapestries in twilight. The dial's metallic mesh shifts from matte to mirror under LEDs, the case's chamfered edges catching candle flicker like comet trails, a submariner silhouette that punches like a pro without the premium punchline. In 2025's Oceanic Odyssey, the SPB 143 dives dominantly, a steel sovereign fusing 62 May soul with hydraulic harmony, arming adventurers with wrist-worn worlds that appreciate as robustly as they replicate, proving luxury lords in Legacy's leanest leagues.